Thanks, Paul, and thanks to the team for allowing us the opportunity to come along. Bellavista Resources, what's in a name? Bellavista, beautiful view. Now that's in Italian or Spanish. Bellevue, beautiful view in French. So you'll see in a couple of slides that there is a connection. What do we possess? The 3 Ps. We've got people, we've got the project, and we've got the very important thing, prospectivity. Usual cautionary statement. The company. As you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here, we have pretty much the executive team of Bellevue and the executive team of Capricorn Metals as our top 4 shareholders. Behind that, in the top 20, we also have a lot of big names in the mining industry in Western Australia sitting in that top 20. So the top 20 controls nearly 60% of the company. Of that, the remaining top 20, us ourselves as managers, we've all put our own money in as well as the management team. So you see there we're at 9%. Retail investors, and we've actually even already at this small early stage got institutional investors on the board for 12%. So the structure of this company is very tight. We've got 66 million shares on issue. The enterprise value is the key point here. We're at 14 million market cap, so we're at the very start of our journey, and we're in a team with the groups that are got hundreds and Bs behind their market cap, so we're obviously looking to emulate that as part of the businesses where the base metals exposure in Australia, and we expect to be able to deliver on that. The team, a couple of faces there that are familiar. Obviously, Mike Naylor has spoken for Cygnus this morning. And again, we've got that back-end team that sit behind us. One person I will pop out there is Natalia. Now, Natalia is also part of the Bellevue Discovery Group. She's our exploration manager, so she's come across to the base metals team. Very enthusiastic, Brazilian, and it's just fantastic to have someone that's coming through and delivering in terms of our exploration strategy. And certainly she's very keen to make this occur here as she did in Bellevue. So again, great people around us. We've got a very stable board there. We've got Mel Ashton from a commercial point of view, Mike Naylor, we've got Steve as a mining engineer. So again, wise heads, plenty of experience. I came from a background doing a lot of work in New South Wales. I actually Explorer of the Year in 2016, or headed up the team that got that. So again, we have an experience of delivering. I won't bore you with the stuff on the left-hand side there. You can read that in your leisure. But really the key is this simple diagram on the right. Is when you're looking for junior companies to invest in, you've really got to look for the guys that are trying to get into that sweet spot. It's not just about going out there and doing some soil samples and a few results here, a few results there. You're looking at the project in the back end. It's got scale, it's got grade, and it's got prospectivity. Now that's very much where we're trying to aim ourselves, and certainly the project we have should do that. The Edmund project itself is about 130 kilometres long. Now for some context here, that's pretty much from this auditorium out to Lorne on the Gradation Road. So we're talking quite a distance across the top of a basin. We control the whole thing 100%, but that's a real concept of scale. We're only 130 k's from Newman, a large mining town, but ultimately for us, it's what we can find in this belt. The project itself is called Brumby. In our first 6 months, we've pinned the ears back. As part of the group, it's all about drilling, and we've done that from day one. So essentially, we listed on the 25th of May. We celebrated our 6 months on Friday last week, and in that time, we've drilled 6,000 metres. A lot of that's still getting feed, and in fact, any tick of the clock, we're going to get our first lot of assays coming through from the actual drilling, but we've done a lot of back-end work to get our geology right, to make sure that we're heading in the right direction in terms of our programs, and it gives us a really good leap into the new year. So the first thing we did was diamond drilling. That's fairly rare in a junior company to go straight into diamond, but we're drilling into a system that was already known. So this was actually drilled by CRA pre-Rio Tinto in 1997. So they did 26 holes, only 13 of those actually made it to depth, so we knew there was some unfinished business there for them in the first place. I also really liked the history there. It was right about the time when Rio Tinto emerged, so that was very much a copper and an iron ore business. This was a base metals exploration play, so it just didn't fit into the future for that particular company. So for us, it's just got that perfect background of huge projects, but a preserved prospectivity. So basically what we've done is our first lot of programs, giving our geologists an ability to understand what this system's all about. And again, I want to talk about the scale of the drilling here because, you know, everyone's been talking 50 metre apart holes. I'm drilling holes 1 kilometre apart, 3 kilometres apart, and still hitting the system. So again, let's do a little bit of a hole here in the stadium, in the auditorium, one in Albert Park and one on St Kilda Beach. That's our first 3 holes that we drilled into Brumby. We hit the system in all 3 holes. The other important thing when you're working up in these big regional areas is understanding your geology. So we've done all that background work before we listed. We've made sure that we really understand what we're targeting, and then it's a function of getting up there and proving concept on the ground. We've spent quality time, including myself, up there mapping and understanding how we can actually get the best out of this project. Given its scale, we need to be able to hit the goals quickly and make sure that we can prove that the grade's there, that we can actually drill this out effectively and hopefully find the sides of it at one point in time. This is a planned section of the drilling we've done so far. So again, have a look at the scale at the bottom. We're talking 5 kilometres. So at this stage, this system is about 10 kilometres along. We still haven't found the ends of it. We control the ground for 80 kilometres to the west, 40 kilometres to the east. We've drilled a hole just down near the creek there. I'll see if I can get this laser pointer to work. Just here. And in that particular hole, we've intersected a bunch of copper high in the system, like at 30 metres, which we were absolutely not expecting, and that's the beauty of doing exploration. But what comes out of that is then suddenly we have the ability to look beyond just the zinc-rich system we've got and then start to look at other options. One of those is copper. Sorry, I've got one slide. And as part of our modelling and things that we did during the year is we've identified that actually this whole system is bookended. So we've got a SEDEX zinc system in the middle, which plus or minus 10 kilometres long by plus or minus 4 kilometres wide, and now we're starting to see copper emerge on each end. So when you can use the words like Mount Isa, MacArthur River, Century, Brumby, all in the same sentence, that's the sort of scale we're talking about. These are giant systems, super giant systems. They're about the same size as an iron ore mine, potentially the size of a coal deposit. So that's the sort of scale we're talking. World class, we hear that word a lot. Yes, this is a world class district for these scale of systems. So I'm just going to go back to that last slide I missed. Trial seismic. So again, one of the challenges with working with such a big system is how do you find the goalposts on a footy field? We know this system's mineralised. We know it's mineralised over a very long area. So where are the areas that we're going to get bang for buck, high grades, easy drilling, shallow, etc. So what we're trying to do, and being a new company who have this opportunity, is to use new techniques that have emerged in the last 5 to 10 years. One of them being passive seismic. It's a really interesting add-on to the geophysics world. It allows us to create a 3-dimensional model of the system. We've done a trial survey here over a mere 8 square kilometres. We've done that work now. We'll use that as a bit of a plan to how we're going to actually explore the 30 square kilometres of the system, and then we'll probably even take that out to the regional. So again, it's a technique that allows us to fast track that move from super green fields down to drill out sort of stage fairly quickly and find those goalposts. So I'm just going to tighten this up on the end there, because I think for us, we've just started our journey. So it's the snapshots about that PPP. We've got the people behind us. We've got exposure to good commodities. And again, this battery thematic, it's really important that you understand that copper, zinc, base metals are the new coal and the new back end of what is that energy source. So whilst there's batteries involved, there's also a lot of metal required to make these things work. So key for us is right elements, a fantastic area, elephant country. Like, this is a part of WA that really hasn't seen a lot of work over the years. I think when we first put the package together, there was 30 holes drilled across 130 kilometres. 26 of those were into Brumby. So there's another 4 holes over 100 kilometres that haven't over that area. So this is real wild country in that context, but we have the tools and the techniques to really hone in quickly. And as being part of the group with the Bellevue guys, it's all about using that drill bit to add value to shareholders quickly. So I think I'll leave it there, and that speeds things up a bit, Paul. Thank you.